Wednesday morning. I'm going to need a nap after that, folks. Woo! I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, three-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he cannot believe how perfect his life is knowing me. Dale Hellestray, everybody.
Good morning, Stephen. Got a little rain this morning,
Yeah?
cooling down.
Was it raining up at your place on the way down?
It rained earlier.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, since you're such an early bird now.
Yeah, it was sprinkling and raining on me on the way in,
Yeah.
in the East Valley, out by my place. Yeah.
But I was still sleeping, getting
Oh,
my
I
beauty
know.
rest.
I thought about texting you, waking you up.
Yeah.
Like you do me at 10 o'clock.
If you think I have my phone on, you're crazy. But anyway, good morning to you. I mean, great night of sports in the Valley. Your Phoenix Suns obviously are following your lead.
I don't know about great night.
And your Diamondbacks are following my lead.
What, calling up the young kids and saying stuff happened?
Yeah, and just like Lawler who?
Oh, is that what we're doing now?
Yeah. We went for Lawler for 3 years now, and
Now it's Fernandez.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Flavor of the month, baby.
Now, all I know is with Lawler, they went to the World Series. That's what people like you always tell me. How can you talk bad about Torrey? He got him to the World Series just 3 years ago. Well, so did Lawler.
Wow.
Lawler got called up, and boom, there they went.
Wow. Then your Suns, they've obviously followed your thought process. Who cares?
Second night of a back-to-back. That's what got him last night.
Who cares?
Why does the NBA even schedule back-to-backs at this point? Well, we have to get it in between our schedules. Expand your season by 2 weeks so you don't have to do back-to-backs because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
It's a waste of the fans that bought tickets in Orlando last night. It's a waste for us to tune into it at all during the game. The players don't want to be there. What are we doing? Just stop scheduling, especially traveling back-to-back nights.
Yeah, that.
Home's different, but back-to-back on the road, give me a break. They don't want to be there. You're wasting everybody's time. We're worried about tanking. How about we worry about the product on the field? To the point where Yahoo put an article out today that I actually have felt for a long time. The NBA is just basically two leagues. The people that want to win and the people that don't.
And you got some teams in between.
No, there's not. There's 0 teams in between.
Oh, really?
You either want to win or you want to lose. We can go through the scheduling. It's terrible. There's so much tanking happening right now around the league.
How come the Suns can't run into a team that wants to tank?
But then the back-to-back also exemplifies that as well. Nobody wants to play on a back-to-back night. No, nobody wanted to play last night. You could tell almost off the bat. Even Dylan Brooks, who's been out for 2 months, was like, this is a back-to-back. I don't even want to play in this.
So I heard Steve talk. He didn't care where we finish.
Well, me and Dylan were chatting by text yesterday. So,
Steve, what kind of effort should I give tonight? It doesn't matter.
I was like, it's second night back-to-back. That's what you can blame it on. Your legs are tired.
I probably won't even watch tonight because it's exhausting just watching.
I did not turn it on last night.
Well, that's because you're watching your second-place Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah. I could have cared less about that Suns game last night.
I did, but then I could also care less about the Diamondbacks game when they're down 5-0. About fifth or sixth inning.
Yeah, I saw. So I didn't get to see the beginning of it. I had another commitment, Dale.
Yeah, boy, you got a lot of commitments.
And another commitment last night. My free job. I had to do some HOA stuff last night. So we had a meeting about. We're getting bids from vendors for arborists for trees in our neighborhood. So that meeting was last night. So they came and presented. All the companies did a fantastic job presenting and stuff like that. Now the board just has to vote. But I was doing that and obviously paying attention to that. And
you didn't have your phone on?
No, I was riveted.
Yeah,
riveted.
I can imagine.
Here's my stance on trees and plants in general. I don't care.
Cut them all down.
Just. Do they look good or do they not? Like if I look at them and I go, that's ugly, then it's probably ugly. And if I look at it and go, it's a tree, then fine. Dale, there are people that will complain about trees and like break it down, and they'll send like they'll go to an art to a nursery, and they'll like get how you prune this type of tree and what it's supposed to look like, and they'll send in like a 10-page document of what the experts start doing right and stuff. Like people care, and I'm not one of those guys. I just don't. Does it look good or does it not? I could kill it. And people are like, "Oh, you know that cottonwood tree over there, right?" No, I have no freaking clue. Just point at the tree you're talking about. I will never, ever in my life know a species of trees, for the love of God. But anyway, I had to deal with that last night,
Right.
which actually was entertaining. They presented well enough that it was a good, entertaining night. But I didn't. By the time I got done, I tuned into the Diamondbacks game. They were down 5-1.
Yeah.
And I was like, Brandon Pfaadt. I assumed he got ran out of the game early.
6 full innings.
Still went to 6. I know. I was like shocked when I went in there.
Right.
That's a good sign. I know, obviously, gave up 5 earned runs, but they only had 2 relief pitchers go in last night. I said that yesterday. They had 6 the day before. You'll run out your bullpen. Your bullpen's arms are going to be tired by May 15th if you keep doing 6 at a time. But only 2 went in last night. That's what the Diamondbacks need for success.
And come on. You bashed him for weeks.
There's one guy.
You bashed him for months.
Dale, in my notes here,
come clean.
I put right here. Let me find it. Props to Sewald. In my notes, folks. Right there.
Yes.
Props to Sewald.
Why is that the last thing on there? That should be second behind Fernandez.
It is second. Because Fernandez was the bigger story last night.
Yeah. But still, I don't know. Sewald, I think I'm going to put his save number at 25. You taking the over or under?
No, I'm taking way under.
Way under.
It's going to melt down.
You
In all
can't even enjoy
seriousness,
it.
no, I've said all along. There's one guy that does not have the ability to go into a game and screw up because he will be roasted. The fans will give him a hard time. The fans will turn on this team, and that's Sewald. And you know what he's done, Dale? Got to give him props. He's gone out there. He knows that. He knows if he has a bad outing, he's got to get your confidence back, the fan base confidence back. And if he goes out and has a bad outing in his first or second outing and blows the save or gives up home runs, everybody's going to turn on him. And he's doing, under that pressure, and what he knows will happen to him if he struggles. And he's gone out there and he's pitched extremely well. Now it's a couple innings, but he's doing his job. Well, I'm just saying, because somebody's going to go, it's only 2 innings, Steve. No, that's his job, though.
Yes.
His job is to go in there.
In those 2 innings, he could also do a not very good job.
Yes. Well, we've seen that. So you got to give props to Sewald. I'm not saying he's like sitting there going, man, if I throw a pitch and somebody hits a home run off me, everybody's going to turn on me. I'm not saying he's thinking that on the mound, but he knows how he left here last time. Good for him. Seriously. Props to Paul Sewald. Now, at what point, if he needs to do this for a little bit longer, and then there'll be some grace if he messes up later on. But he's done a good job so far.
He struck out the side, Steve.
He's done all right, Dale. Done all right.
Wow. You are just...
No, I'm giving him his props. Don't even start that.
But begrudgingly.
No, really not. He's the one guy that I said in spring training, he's the guy that cannot have a bad start to the season. Period. End of story. And he's not. Perfect. It shows 2 things. It shows, one, that's impressive in my eyes. I'm not a professional athlete. I know when you guys look at us, because we have an athlete on here, professional athlete. I know when you look at us, you go, oh, the guy in the dark shirt today was the professional athlete. I know you guys say that.
Right.
But believe it or not, it was this guy. But there's self-doubt that's got to creep in, especially in baseball. I don't care what you say, especially with the way it ended. And then your manager's afraid to announce you as the closer because he knows the backlash you'll get. And then, boom, you have to go out there. On the road would be one thing, but at home last night and strike out the side in that situation, now that's a beautiful thing. That's why we watch sports. That's why I watch sports, to be honest. Stories like that.
Well, the thing is, you look at last night's game, and for all intents and purposes, 5-1, And what inning was that? Into the seventh? Eighth?
Yes, yeah. It might have been.
They scored all their runs in the eighth.
Yeah.
So at 5-1 in the seventh inning, I think most people kind of say, you know what? Hey, we're going to chalk this game up to a loss.
Yes.
And then they come back and put a butt whooping.
Well, keep that in mind, too. He's sitting in the bullpen going, I'm not needed tonight.
No, at 5-1, he's not pitching.
He's paid the sunflower
And then
season.
comes Hernandez, 2 outs, 3-run homer. And also they got the lead.
Yeah. Improbable lead.
Yes.
Yes.
And when you – I in total agreement with you, because that is the situation where you're dead in the water, dead in the water, dead in the water. What?
Yeah.
And then if you go out and you give up 2 runs to tie the game to go into the bottom of the ninth,
yeah.
After the comeback, letdown.
After the comeback
Yes.
happened? Absolutely.
Yes.
I would actually argue last night the pressure was more mounted on him than it was in his outing the other night.
Could be.
Because, well, I mean, just – you're human. I don't care what you say, Dale. That would be like you. You're like, oh, we're not punting or kicking any more field goals. We're up. And then all of a sudden the other team's coming back. And you're just sitting there going, oh, we don't need me anymore. You know, and you're over there just hamming it up and blah, blah. And all of a sudden other team comes back and you're like, oh, crap, we have a game-winning field goal coming up? Like you have to get back into the mindset again.
I wish I could compare it to that, but this is completely different. Again, just
Well,
think of his mindset.
Man.
First of all, starting the season, and he knew every bit of pressure that you put on him and everybody else. He knew that was there.
Yeah, he's like that McCollum guy,
Yeah.
putting extra pressure on me.
He knew that. You spoke for a lot of people.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And he got the first save. Okay, no harm, no foul. Good. He probably took a deep breath.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, last night, again, the mental gymnastics, a lot of people don't even think about.
No.
Because in baseball, you're sitting around for so long.
And then like you said, 5-1. He's going, I'm not needed tonight.
I'm not in the seventh inning.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some. I'm gonna give me a hot dog.
Yeah.
Hot dog, lady.
Hey. Put some extra onions and relish on there.
I got an easy night tonight. That's what's amazing. And then you have to warm up, and then you have to go jog out to that mound where everybody's going, oh,
they're holding their breath.
Out? Yeah, is
they're
he coming out there? What's going to happen?
Yeah,
I think I do. In all seriousness, that's why I put props to Seawald in my notes last night, was because I think last night showed you his mental friend. Now, you still have to go out and pitch.
What's interesting is you did bring up a good point. I don't even think you know that you did it.
They're all good points.
Because a lot of times they go by the wayside.
Well, since you said that, I'm going to sit here and drink my drink while you talk about how great I am.
Not how great you are, but you did bring up a bullet point that is worth keeping your eye on. How many games like last night, how many saves does he have to put together?
That's the question.
Before, not yours, but the teams, Torey Lavello's, the front, the whole organization, until they get back to that, we got confidence in this dude, and
to where he can blow one.
He
and
can blow one
save,
and guess what? It was a one-off.
That's a big question.
You know,
it's not 5. It's not after 2. I can tell you that.
5? Is it 7?
But last night gave me a lot more hope than his previous one did because of the situation last night.
And 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, on top of it. Yeah. Because how many times have we seen a team come back in baseball, take the lead, and then their bullpen blows it in the
Yes. Or get a base runner on. All of a sudden, it's a whole scuffling inning of steal second. And
it happens a lot,
you know?
And then all your momentum just goes away. And he was able to keep playing. I'm just really impressed with what he did last night. And generally, I would tell you that's his job. That's nothing to be impressed by. That's what he should do. But we're talking Paul Seawald here, folks. Mm-hmm. The way 2 years ago he was dominating and then just couldn't find the plate, dishing up batting practice balls, blew how many saves in the month of July, almost cost him a playoff run. Yes, they ended up going to the World Series that year. But that was a disastrous year the way it ended for him. For him to go through that last night and get in there was amazing. But that is something you have to watch still. He's not out of the woods. He can go out his next inning and get shelled for 8 runs.
He can't,
And we're all going to go, yep, there's a Seawald we expected.
Yeah, and there's some people, one might be sitting here, that can't wait to say,
No.
I told you so.
I prefer it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I prefer it doesn't happen.
You're part of a modern America.
I'll tell you this, though, Dale. Well, why did they announce him as the closer?
Why?
Yeah, because they are also afraid of naming him the closer and him going out and blowing those
You
saves.
said, why did they name him the closer?
They didn't name him the closer.
So the question you asked is, why did they name him
No, why
the closer?
didn't they name him the closer? Because the Diamondbacks were also protecting themselves. So if he goes out and blows a late game deal, they can be like, oh, we just like this situation to go in there and, next situation, we'll evaluate what the matchups are. They were hedging their bets also.
No doubt about it.
From that. And he's been really impressive so far. So you can say I'm poo-pooing him all you want. Look, props to Seawald. I was really impressed with that outing last night. Because I'm not going to lie. I mean, granted, I'm sitting at home, but I'm watching the game the exact same way he is. He's watching it the exact same way I am. I mean, you are.
But guess what?
He's just sitting there watching it.
As you're sitting there eating that bag of chips and an extra slice of pizza, there's no chance you're going in the game.
No. But it's an amazing. And I've talked to a lot of pitchers, guys that have made the big leagues, guys that haven't made the big. And those are my questions usually I go around. I'm like, man, if it's a 9-0 ball game in the third, what are you doing? Because you're not going in, or if you're going in, it's a 9-0. There's no pressure on you. I go, what are you even thinking? And they'll all say, oh, you're locked in the game. Bull crap.
Out there making plans for after the game.
They're doing everything but thinking about the game until they have to start warming up. And then you can't tell me as a human being that you're locked into the game like that the whole game. You'll lose yourself nuts. So, I know he's overshadowed last night, but props to Paul Seawald with the way he started the season.
Yes.
Dale, I can't be positive about something.
Yeah, begrudgingly. Drag it out of you.
Yeah, you just have to do your job instead of failing to get to impress me, I guess. But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I was thinking about that last night. It's just all right, 2-0 with him, and he's been impressive both times he's been out there.
Second place in the National League West, Steve.
At what point are you going to? Is everybody going to relax when he goes into the game? And I don't know. I don't know when that's going to happen.
Let me ask you a serious question.
To me, he's earned the right to be in there with these 2 starts. I feel comfortable with him going in.
Let me ask you a question.
A serious one? Ooh, we're getting serious.
In this day and age, out of the 30 teams, how many closers are out there that you used to think of the Bruce Suiters and the guys that
those guys are
Rivera's and those kind of guys that you expect them to get 60 saves a year.
Those guys are gone.
It's like how many teams do you say have a super reliable closer? Is it 5?
Very few. Yeah, very few.
That
you rely on constantly.
Yeah.
Very few.
Yeah. And it's
the Mariano Rivera closing pitcher barely exists today.
Right. I remember the Bruce Suiters, and I remember those that they have 70 saves in a year.
Holy cow! I just forgot his name for the Athletics with the Eckersley.
Yeah.
Where he went in a game and you knew you weren't winning that game.
No, as soon as he got off the bench.
Those pitchers are few and far between now. but there's a difference though. Again, I understand that you're going to blow saves. You're going to have terrible outings. That's fine. You don't remember how Paul Seawald's season went that year? He was lights out in April and May. July. They lost how many ball games to where they almost didn't make the playoffs because of his blown saves, and they kept just throwing. And I don't even blame him for it. Torrey kept throwing him out there. And everybody's going, he ain't got it, buddy. He's like a field goal kicker that can't make a kick, and you just keep trying field goals. No, at some point you stop trying to kick field goals, and you're going for it on 4th down. And Torrey just kept throwing him out there. It was infuriating to watch. And as I said, I don't put it all on Seawald. But But I also realize these people are human too. What he is doing after that right now is fantastic. Most people would not rebound from that.
Right.
They wouldn't. They could come back and they could pitch in the seventh inning, non-pressure situations, and have a decent career in the bullpen, or probably a really good career in the bullpen. But closer's something different. And closer's a position, and we talked about this when he was doing it. Closer's a position that can change your team. If your team has fights and comes back in this game, and one guy goes out there and blows it, okay, one time you can kind of forgive it. But 5, 6, 7 times, your players are going to go, why are we trying so hard to get this lead and fighting back if we're just going to keep losing it?
Has way more impact on a team losing a game in the whatever, the top of the ninth or bottom of the ninth, however the situation is.
That's the difference.
When you have a lead, that leaves a mark, and a lot of times bleeds over the next day.
Yeah,
you just get beat.
Your team.
You just get beat 6-2. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, it happened. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll get him tomorrow.
Right.
A starting pitcher struggles. Hey, he'll be back next game.
Yeah.
Because you have time to recover from it. You generally don't have time to recover from a ninth inning blown save. Sometimes you do, but generally you don't. And that's why it's more important that you get on that side. So I'm not expecting. It's just it's him. It's the way he finished that. That's why you're more procure. If this was Martinez or Puck, we wouldn't be feeling this way. We're feeling this way because of the way he stumbled mightily in that last time he was on this team and was the closer.
The closer is one of those guys that you see more of because ideally, if he's a good closer, you're going to see him 50, 60 times a year.
For 3 hitters.
For 3 hits, for 3 batters, hopefully.
Yeah.
A solid, good starter, you can see him 30 times a year. It's every 5 days.
Yep.
And so you get to know this guy, and it's always coming in with the game on the line. You don't come in if you're losing 6-2.
Nope. Generally, unless you haven't had a save, unless you haven't had a save opportunity, you just need some work on the mound to get called into that.
Right.
And it's interesting because closers tend to fail when you do that with them.
Yes, because the intensity is not there.
The role to what you have. I'll put it this way: every closer I've ever met in my life or talked to, they're different.
Well, I'm going to tell you this: the mental part of the
else.
game, because there have been many times I played on a lot of good teams. I also told you I played on the worst team in the National Football League my rookie year, but I also played on a lot of good teams. And no matter what coaches say, no matter what coaches do, if you know you're more dominant over another team, you don't quite get to that fever pitch of intensity that you do when you play in the San Francisco 49ers.
When it's the Niners, right?
Yeah. If you're playing the Cardinals or you're playing somebody that you know you're going to beat no matter what's the final score.
But do you know that going into the game?
You feel it. You feel it. Yep.
Guys are coming into the locker room. Normally, they're like, "Don't talk to me while I'm getting taped up. I'm getting hyped up," and then they're just like yakking away
and ha-ha.
Yeah, exactly. Don't jokes.
Yeah.
So you can't tell when that's going on.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
No, because I'm going to give you one inside story that you'll get a kick out of. So Jim Kelly, none of us knew this till he came to Buffalo and started playing with us. Before every game that was going to be a competitive game, as the coach is talking before we went out of the locker room, you hear from the bathroom violent eruptions of throw up. Jim Kelly threw up before every game.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Except for the ones that you
were supposed to dominate.
that we were supposed to die. And it was weird because for 16 games, you'd hear it 14 times.
I bet you Jim Kelly's so proud of you for telling that story right there. We're going to tag Jim Kelly on this story
I think
later.
it got to the point where sometimes he'd make himself do that just because that was his pregame.
Yeah, pregame routine. He doesn't feel comfortable unless he does it at that point.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And that's okay. So pitchers can do that. Robert chimes in. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670. Hit us up, of course, on X as well. Robert says, exactly which pitcher on this entire staff gives you the feeling that you can relax? In the bullpen? None. None of them. Right now, none of them. Just, I'll even go so far as to say I'm comfortable with the starting pitching, but to me, it doesn't even matter what they do. They're going to leave the game in the 5th or 6th inning. Hopefully, they can make it that far. And then that's when the game starts in my eyes for the Diamondbacks. What's the bullpen going to do?
But
Don't even tune in for the first 5 innings, Dale, when the starter's out there. What's the bullpen going to do? After
But
the
here's
starters
my
leave?
question, Steve. If you went around to the other 29 Major League Baseball cities and
Yeah.
talked to their rank and file fan,
Yes, everybody's worried.
What
about
would
the
they
bullpen.
say?
Yeah, exact same thing.
oh, hey, no. We get to the bullpen. If we get 6th inning, it's lockdown city.
I can tell you right now, even the Pirates, they're hoping Skeens today goes 9 innings.
Yeah.
Even with this terrible first outing,
Yeah.
they're hoping he goes 9 innings because they don't want their bullpen to show up.
Now, again, what's fascinating about Skeens? Did he make it out of the first inning last game?
37 pitches, but it wasn't all his fault. His center fielder
Yeah,
O'Neill
no,
let him down.
I understand. But if you are one of the 10, 12 Pirate fans left, do you have a little trepidation about him today, or are you fully confident he's going to come out and go six?
It's
six
funny you
innings
saw
strong?
that. I watched the Vison Live segment yesterday afternoon. We went to lunch and afterwards I was driving home and I was listening to it. And you know what the whole segment was? Should you have confidence in betting Paul Skeens moving forward after his first start?
Right.
And it was a 20-minute segment. Should you trust this kid?
All
after
you've
one
seen is
start?
pure dominance.
I know. One outing, which wasn't, it wasn't all his fault. His center fielder missed some easy outs to keep the extent. And that was a 20-minute segment. Yeah. I was like just driving going, what the heck is happening right now?
Did you pull over and you bet Skeens?
Yeah, exactly. I would have bet him anyway. But that's pitchers to me are like offensive linemen in the NFL, where if you go, even the Eagles who have Lane Johnson and these Hall of Fame linemen, even their fans are going, man, our offensive line's not very good this year going into the season. That's our worry point.
Right.
You're always it's just everybody. Hey, what's your worry on your team this year? Offensive line. You have 5 Hall of Famers on that line. Yeah, but it might be the year that they're down. That's what pitchers are as well in baseball is. What's your problem this year pitching? I bet you Dodgers fans are even like, man, it's Ohtani. What's he gonna do? He's our worry this year.
Right.
By the way, first pitching appearance of the year last night, and Ohtani dominated. 6 innings. His regular season scoreless streak is now 22 2/3 of an inning, Dale. I don't know. News flash. Breaking news. News flash. You'll only hear this here on the main event, Dale. Ohtani's good.
And you look at him, Steve. I watched him a little bit last night.
Did you? He pitches weird, doesn't he? Like, he doesn't look like he's a dominant pitcher.
It's not like you're seeing like a Nolan Ryan or somebody or Randy Johnson where you go, okay, that's different.
Yeah.
That I can see by my naked eye, that dude's different than the other guys.
Yeah. But
I don't see that with Ohtani.
No.
But I see strike out.
Yeah.
Strike out.
And what they're swinging at, I mean, they're swinging a ball that's 10 feet out of the – like the catcher's standing up and running and catching it. I know I'm exaggerating. And the guy's swinging full swing at it.
Or catching it in the dirt.
Yeah, and the guy's full swing.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that when he was with the Angels, and I was like, this. That's why I've always just been like Ohtani. Now, of course, he's with the Dodgers. Everybody's jumped on that bandwagon and stuff. But when he was with the Angels, people don't remember, man. A lot of people didn't think he's not MVP. He's not MVP. He's not that good. And so we had a counterpart at the radio station that was like, Ohtani's not in it. And I used to just stare at him like, you're not watching baseball if you don't see the eliteness of Ohtani compared to everybody else. But then he reached 3 times last night as well on base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that game on for a little bit yesterday. But it's nauseating. But even then, Dodgers fans last night were like, oh, what are you going to do? They just let us down. Dodgers had a terrible bullpen last year, so they are freaking out about that, although they've done well so far this year as well. But no, pitchers are that thing. It's just, So I agree with Robert. But in terms of starting pitching, I'm comfortable with the Diamondbacks starting pitching. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Even fought last night.
And again,
I'm
I
comfortable
see
with it.
Fought, and I can't wait to see his second start.
Yeah,
I think it'll be much better than his first start.
Yeah. He made some mistakes last night that I don't think he's going to make again coming up.
And again, I have some confidence in him.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe I'm crazy, Robert, but I'm comfortable with their starting pitching. And I'm even more comfortable with it when Merrill Kelly comes back. I think that's going to strengthen it a little bit more. My weakest link, I think I've been honest about it, my weakest link on this staff, Rodriguez, traditionally it's Rodriguez is the one I'm most worried about. But the way he looked in game one, that's kind of gone by the wayside. My biggest, other than Rodriguez, though, it would be Zach Gallen, who's on the mound today against Skubal at 12:40 today.
Well, they've already won the series, so
yeah.
If
Zach
you just
Gallen's
win
gotta have a
series,
good
and
outing.
now you'll be bummed if they don't sweep them and they're back off
Expectations,
to the
man.
dust.
There's going to be no shame in losing today against the reigning 18-time Cy Young winner in the AL, Skubal here. I know I'm being exaggerating.
If you just win every series and let the Dodgers go ahead and
you're playing for a wild card spot.
Yes.
And winning series will get you in the wild card spot. 100%, especially against really good teams that are going to.
Detroit's going to be in the playoffs.
I have them winning that division, but you caught them. I'm worried about Verlander. If you don't have velocity in game one of the season, how are you going to have it in your 20th start?
Well, here's the thing about him is the fact that he still has velocity. He's still throwing low 90s. Yeah. He used to throw mid to high 90s.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, you can't see 97, but for some reason you can see 92. Now, it's all fast to me.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to hit any of them. But professional hitters can tee up on you when you're throwing. That Corbin Carroll home run, that thing looked like it was just like a beach ball coming in there for him to crank on that thing, And it was just like, what in the world? So he's the one I'm worried about if I was a Tigers fan, by far. I'd worry about. But I mean, Tigers fans are waking up today going, our bullpen, man. By the way, the guy, what's the guy's name that Fernandez hit those home runs off of? He's their star closing. He's their star pitcher in the bullpen that he launched them off of Jansen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The former Dodger.
He's a really, really good bullpen pitcher. He's in Tigerland to shut down late in games, folks. And a rookie, a kid just called up. I think he's 22 years old, 21, 22. Just called up. 2 home runs. One off the 409-footer off him into the bleachers in that, for that 6-run inning there as well. So it goes to your point. Jansen was supposed to go in there and shut down the Diamondbacks.
Yes. Hey, this is our Diamondbacks. Boy, oh boy, Fernandez kind of stealing away from your boy Lawler.
That's why, Lawler who?
Ah!
Who?
Oh my gosh, if I had to think a dollar for every time I heard he's the savior from this guy.
Lawler's batting 308, man. It's not like he's terrible. It's first outing for Fernandez. They didn't have film on him. They didn't know what to expect.
Well, maybe after the first home run, you say, I'm not going to pitch to him.
Well, that's the issue. I'm not going to throw it over the plate because he can launch it 400 feet.
Because he doesn't look like physically imposing.
He's tiny. Yeah. I'm surprised.
A little bit like Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll, not a big dude.
No, I've met Corbin Carroll in person, and he's, for what you expect a professional athlete to look like, he is not. He's not a dominating figure.
Who needs a hamate bone? Maybe everybody should all go out there and get their hamate bone removed.
I'm telling you, that's going to be the new elective surgery in off season for high school kids and stuff. I need my hamate bone removed. You don't even need it, from what I read.
They said they don't need it. Why? Anyway,
who needs a ham bone? Bone is the question, right? But I mean, let's finish up with Diamondbacks here. Fernandez, you got to give him all the props. 3 hits, 2 home runs, the game-winning hit on top of it in that big inning for him. He got called up with Pavin Smith. And I feel bad because Pavin Smith's earned his time to play here and stuff like that. And we ripped him at the beginning of the season because he got scratched in the first game. They pulled him out of the lineup because he couldn't bat. Said it hurt to swing, and he couldn't even swing at all. Next game, he's in there. And I get it. Pavin Smith's a left-handed bat. You need those, even though the Diamondbacks are racist against left-handers, apparently. I don't know what term you can use besides racist, but they don't like left-handers. But in all seriousness, that's why Pavin Smith needs to be on this team. But there's guys better than him. And I know it's one game for Fernandez, but there's younger guys I would rather see get their chance than Pavin Smith.
Yeah, I would say that Hernandez, with his 2.250 slugging percentage.
Isn't it? No, it's a 3.
No, well.
Oh, he was only 3 for 4 last night?
He was, he was 4 for 4. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 home runs. 2 points.
Oh, he was 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know they weren't all home runs.
Unbelievable.
He's batting .750. I do know that. I saw that last night after the game. I saw that flash up on the post game as well from that. Look, Lawler went 1 for 3. I like Lawler in the 9th spot. We talked earlier about. Now they had Marte, Carroll, Perdomo, then Moreno. There's the DH. I do like Moreno as a DH on those days off when McCann gets in there and gets some action.
Right.
Because Del Castillo's hurt again on the IL. That guy cannot stay healthy. I like him a lot as a DH, but he's got to be healthy to get out there and stuff like that. I'd rather have Carroll lead off. I don't know. I'm interested in knowing why Marte leads off and not Carroll leads off. Does it really matter? I don't know if it does. But it's just, I like Carroll's opportunity to get to second or third with a double or triple, and then Marte being able to drive him home. But Perdomo can drive him home as well, but start a game off with Corbin on a single or a double or a triple. Woo! That'd be fun.
I don't know. Again, that's Steve McCullen trying to pick little thorns off a beautiful rose. Who cares? Marte, Carroll, Marte, throw them in a frappe thing, hit it, and whatever comes up.
Here's the other side. Diamondbacks they were 4 for 9 last night with runners in scorers position. That was something last year that was way out of whack. They left a lot of guys on base and things like that. 4 for 9, respectable number there, and they have been respectable. Dodgers series, there was 2 games I think the numbers were high when they couldn't get runs across, but they're respectable numbers there. You're going to win a lot of games by getting guys and runners in scoring position home. You're going to win a lot of games if you do that, and I do like the way they're playing that side as well. For them, they only left 3 guys on base yesterday.
Well, what's interesting is I think this is the first game of the year they haven't taken a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, is that a real stat?
I think so.
And again, my other big thing last night was 2 bullpen guys, including the greatest pitcher of all time, Paul Sewald, last night. But you can't have six guys going every night. You just can't. You're going to blow arms out early in the season, and that's going to cause problems down the line. Also, sold out crowd, 48,000 for game 1 for, the home opener. 28,000 yesterday.
That's still pretty good.
And I know there's a lot of Detroit fans there, but I mean, that's really impressive considering half the stadium can't see half the field. I just did that for Dale.
You just couldn't. You couldn't.
That was a story on McCollum on Business this morning. 12, the unbelievable lack of care for your season ticket holders is marveling to me there by the Diamondbacks. Oh, but we're going to move them. They don't want to be moved because of that. If they wanted to move, they would have changed their seats themselves.
What about if you say your name's Big Slim, and you're in charge of measuring those?
They know the dimensions. All they did was tout the dimensions.
Why didn't somebody go
That's my point.
when they were put up, go sit in all the front row seats?
That's my point.
And go, oops.
And they had this problem a few years ago when they installed the original ribbon boards on the club level and stuff. They had to move the guy that runs the ABS systems, the ball strike system. They had to move the official scorer. They had to move those guys because they couldn't see the plate. For the love of God. It just, attention to detail, Dale. That tells you they cared more about the video boards going in than they did about anything else going in there.
Who cares?
And to me, that's a lack of disrespect to your fan base.
Who cares about the ABS?
That's a lack of respect for your fan base.
No, not a lack.
I got two more Major League Baseball stuff we'll talk about here coming up. And Dale's going to play golf today. He'll leave about 9:30, so we got a bunch of stuff to talk to him about.
Yeah.
Including the war chest. We now know what the war chest is built up to for Major League Baseball. What that does, Dale, is that tells us what kind of lockout we're expecting coming up here.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that coming up, along with my favorite referee, umpire, CB Buckner.
You're jumping on.
This guy is terrible. This guy should be lambasted.
Wow.
Major League Baseball umpiring. So other umpires should be demanding he get removed because he's embarrassing you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This time it wasn't behind the plate. Even worse. Come back, folks. The main event. And we're back here, and folks, enjoy this baseball season. We've talked about it a lot here. Enjoy it because next year, I think you asked me before a few weeks ago on what I think's happening going into the season, and I said it's going to be a lengthy lockout. We'll be lucky to have baseball by the All-Star break, beginning of August, but I do think cooler heads will prevail come August of next year. I ain't so sure now. We might see a whole year lockout here. There's signals out there, Dale, saying, well, at least one side is ramping up for a lengthy lockout out there. So they call it a war chest. It's money that you put aside to help out your union members and things like that while they're on strike.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you a number here. But it sounds like a lot. But in comparison, I'm going to give you the comparison to the last round of CBA negotiations.
And that's what, 2012?
No, 2021.
What?
Was the last time there was negotiation.
Really?
Yeah. Those one went a lot smoother, and they expected it to on that.
Okay.
Here, but $415 million is what the MLBPA has increased its war chest to. $415 million. So that's U.S. securities, that's cash, that's investments, all money they can tap into if they get locked out or have to go on strike, whatever, going into this season as well. That number is 2 times larger than the MLB than they had when MLB and them and the contract duration in 2021. 2 times longer. The Major League Baseball PA is signaling to you, the fan, and to me, and to their members, get your baseball season in because it's going away for a long time. That's what they're signaling right now. They know it's going to be a lengthy holdout, and they know it's going to be a long fight here coming up. Is what they're signaling, Dale. So,
well,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I think we all knew this is our last. We're not going to see in spring training for sure next year.
You'll see a modified spring training to ramp them up for the season whenever it ends. If it ends,
right?
If it ends,
wow.
But nothing like spring training like now. Yeah. So the last CBA expired December of 2021. That lockout, I think they solved it a couple weeks into spring training, if I remember correctly. But it was about a 3-month lockout on that stuff, right? Then the MLB and the union agreed to a new CBA on March 10th, and they got that 162 game season in. It was delayed by 8 days, so they did cram that in and stuff like that. So the year-over-year escalation, that they're looking at here, they had $283 million set aside in 2024. And then the MLBPA converted a large sum of cash to U.S. Treasury securities. That just means higher interest rates on that money and stuff like that to gain more money. The union's cash reserve dropped from $144 million to $37.4 million because they put cash into treasuries for that stuff and things like that is what they did. So basically they went from cash, which is obviously liquid, easily to tap into, so they felt safe putting it into these treasuries and stuff like that, right? The treasuries went from $85.3 million to $222.1 million because they bought them and stuff like that. The MLBPA's total assets rose to $519 million now, and it was at $353 million at the end of 2024. Their net assets were $511.5 million. Imagine what it could be, Dale, if Tony Clark and his other people there weren't stealing from the union for personal funds. Whatever happened with that story?
Kind of got buried.
Did he resign and it just goes away and they're just like, no, we can keep it. Nothing we can do about that. Yeah. The union's lobbying spending, meaning, get people in their good graces, it increased in 2025. It doubled, 363,000 in 2024 to 788,000 last year.
So lobbying, that probably means more trips, more dinners, more
trying to convince people, government people, other entities around a lockout to be on their side.
Government people wouldn't go to dinner with baseball people.
No, because there is regulation issues around baseball, sports betting, that type of stuff that they're lobbying for still, and things to that stuff as well. So, the interesting Fanatics, by the way, the union's largest revenue source. Fanatics, who makes the hats, jerseys, whatever.
Really?
Yeah, $94.4 million in 2024, $106 million in 2025. That's their largest revenue source as a union for that stuff. So everything you buy goes, obviously, percentage goes to them and stuff like that. The whole point on this is, if you notice, all of those numbers are ramping up in large numbers. Yeah, I'm not too sure we're going to see baseball next year.
Well, and along just so, I went through the strike in 87. Numbers were obviously completely different. But our union tried to tell us, hey, the year before, starting the beginning of the year, start putting some away in a rainy day fund. Start putting some, most guys didn't.
No. Why would you?
We're not striking, but baseball's a little bit smarter.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's and like I said, the 2021 number was small, partly because they knew they could probably wrap it up fairly quickly. You have a war chest, double the amount to almost $500 million, folks, at the end of 2025, because you're expecting a long, drawn-out process. So I just wanted to further that point home to everybody here on the baseball side of things. So enjoy what you got. Enjoy what you got. And then really quick, Robert said Moreno DHing is going to bite Torrey in the butt at some point. If McCann gets hurt, then Moreno would have to catch. That means the pitcher hits. Well, here's the thing on that. McCann got in the game yesterday because Fott was pitching, which allowed him to put Moreno in as a DH because you are limited on the DH side right now. Once Del Castillo comes back, Haven Smith, those guys will be more DHing coming up. So I don't know how much Moreno is going to DH when their regular DHers are actually in there and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting lineup moves here at the beginning, and hey, they're 2-3. It's working out a little bit. Then Dale, I used to be a guy up until about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, that was like, you know what, umpires, as long as they call a consistent game, I don't care. Yeah, they're going to miss calls sometime, and that's irritating and stupid, but there's human elements. Players make mistakes. Managers make mistakes. Umpires should be allowed to make mistakes. But there's a few umpires around baseball that drove me so nuts. That fat guy, the white fat guy that had a country album at one point. I don't even remember his name now because he's out of baseball.
Right.
He drove me nuts. CB Buckner's always driven me nuts. There's 3-4 umpires that specifically changed my mind, and I went, we need robot umpires. We need a replay system. I was against replay in baseball. But these umpires are so derelict of their duties out there that I was like, they're so egregious, we need a way to overrule them and stuff like that. They literally changed my opinion of robot baseball and stuff like that. How bad these 4 or 5 umpires were. Joe West was his name. That tells you something. Because it's 4 guys. I should never know what an umpire's name is. Ever. Ever. And I know their names. I know of many of their egregious calls that cost games. I know all of that stuff. And I shouldn't. So robot umps should be here to stay. And this, folks, what I'm about to show you what happened yesterday. CB Buckner the other day, 6 of 8 replays against him, 5 went against him.
Hold on, you said 6 of 8, 5 went against what?
Wait, 6 went against him. 2 right off the bat, 2 in a row in a strikeout situation on the Reds, but then he lost a bunch of other ones. That was behind the plate. He's behind the plate today too, folks, so watch this. But now there's replay to correct this. But I said it the other day. Teams get punished if they use replay. Not punished, but you lose that replay. And you shouldn't have to. This was kind of my point on ABS the other day. Yeah, it's great. They got 6 of the 8 calls right after they were called wrong at the plate. But isn't the bigger issue? So you exhaust your challenges and you lose 2 eventually, and then they make bad calls later in the game. But why did you have to use those first 5? Because the umpire couldn't do his job properly. Like 1 or 2 challenges to me is like, all right, 1 out of 2 of it in a game where you only missed 1 or 2 calls? Perfect. That's actually a really good ratio in my eyes. 5, 6, you're getting to a level where you're just failing at your job, in my opinion. And then you got stuff like this garbage. I'm just going to let it play out. This is from the broadcast. Here we go. CB Buckner in the field yesterday.
Bowers. Oh, in and out of the glove of Williamson. Throws to first. It's wide. It's backed up by Fortes. That should be a base hit for Bowers.
And never did make a move towards second base. So he's safe. Heck of an effort by Williamson at second.
Runner did not touch first base and then was put out.
So CB Buckner just
so
made
the
call
from CB Buckner is that Jake Bowers missed first base and then was tagged out. Not that he made a move to second base.
Toby, can you pause it for 1 second?
Out, that he flat out.
Okay, before you see this replay. First base umpire's what? A job is what right here? In this situation, you see him in your upper right. What's the first base umpire's job in this situation?
Well, he's got a couple. As the ball beat the runner to the bag.
Yeah, that's his only responsibility. Is this guy out or not? Does he touch the bag? Does the ball get there first? It's all related to this on timing. you see CB Buckner's positioning. He's not out of position. He didn't get caught out of position.
No.
He's where he should be, right? He says he did not touch the bag. They tagged him, and that's why he's out. Go ahead and play it, Kobe.
Missed the bag. And I think that is a horrendous call. Where is CB Buckner looking?
He's not even looking at it. Why would he even say that?
CB Buckner was not even looking at the play.
He stepped right on top of first base. I'm not sure what CB Buckner's looking at there. That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm really excited for him to have the plate tomorrow.
He's safe. The call's overturned. Milwaukee retains their challenge.
That's just a waste of time reviewing that.
Look at that.
At least
smirk
reviews
on his
available
face.
so you can get it right.
Yeah, no kidding. Everybody laughing at that call.
Kevin Cash is laughing. Look at Murph. Those two guys are laughing. I can't wait to see that text chain between those two guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Look at him
again.
just smirk.
It's one thing if it's a 99-mile-an-hour hard slider that's catching the corner or
I
not.
agree. Yeah.
He stepped square on. It wasn't like, okay, he stopped a little short or
Yeah.
maybe missed it.
Yeah.
He stepped on the middle of the bag.
Yeah.
And so if you're CB Buckner, you didn't see it.
That's the
Obviously.
point. He watched the ball. If you watch his head, he watched the ball go by.
Yeah.
But how do you make this call if you don't
So
see
you
it?
don't see it, so just say nothing.
Yeah. Let it play out.
Hey, nobody's throwing a fit.
I would not fault an umpire to just let it play out, and then the other team challenges, he missed the plate, and the umpire goes, I followed the ball.
Yeah.
I followed the ball, and I didn't see if he touched the plate or not. Okay, you reviewed it. You caught it. Perfect. We got it right.
That was pretty blatant.
But he blatantly went, he didn't touch the bag. I saw him not touch the bag. What? But then that smirk on his face, I swear to God, folks, he's doing it on purpose. He's daring Major League Baseball. He's flaunting Major League Baseball's rules against the sport. He did that on purpose. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to make up something right now and make him challenge it. I don't care. Let's show this league that we don't need what a pain in the butt it is. It's disgusting. They got it right ultimately, which is great. It's infuriating. It wasted. They said it right on the bright. Wasted everybody's time. Momentum. Pitcher has to wait now. All the other stuff's going on. You got to waste a challenge on this on top of it. It's not a waste. They get it back for winning it, but you have to use a challenge. It screws up everything on that. It's a joke of a system on there. Guys like CB Buckner, if they don't remove him from this and knock it off, get rid of the umpiring crew altogether. Just have the computers figure it out. You can have sensors in the bags to tell if they hit him.
I don't. Just get rid of the bad umpires.
Well, that's issue number one. He needs to be gone. And there's the best part. Before they could always say, well, we rate. They never. There's sites that rate the umpires, that are third-party sites that rent, like umpire scorecard or whatever it's called on Twitter. You can follow that. I don't even do that because most umpires actually, in my eyes, are fair and they're good. It's just when you go to that other level there. But before, Major League Baseball wouldn't publish stuff on them. Now with the ABS system and reviews, we can see in real time how bad umpires can be.
Right.
And it needs to change, man. And they need to fix it. It's infuriating. I wasn't watching that game, thank God, because I would have lost my mind. I don't need that kind of stress in my life, Dale.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, that's probably fire in your belly.
I didn't watch that one. I did watch a lot of good baseball yesterday, though. When we come back, we got some NFL news, rule changes. Interesting thing happening with Hard Knocks this year. Now all we need is Hard Knocks to get access to behind-the-scenes stuff again that a lot of these pansy teams started hiding from us and everything. But we're kind of going back here. I'll tell you about that. We have an update on Tommy Lloyd's presser in, Final Four, Indianapolis this week. They'll talk about that UNC job, Dale. Talk about that. Come on back. Man of it. second hour main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and of course, 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrey. Going to take off and play some golf here in just a little bit. It's been a lot of baseball there in that first hour. Got an update on Tiger Woods, Dale. He says he's going to step away from golf and go get some treatment for his, I'll phrase it this way. He didn't phrase it this way. I'll phrase it this way. His pill addiction.
Thanks, Steve, for you making sure that you get your feelings out there.
Well, that's what he has. That's what he has, Dale.
Smart of him. Somebody finally got to him,
No,
maybe.
he needs to do it, yeah.
And it's something that he needed.
I'm not knocking him, but he has a pill addiction. He's the amount of hydrochloroquine or whatever the heck that he had on
Hydrocodone.
that he had on his possession after he crashed that car the other day.
Yeah.
You're not walking around with that stuff, Dale.
Unless
you're popping it when you don't need to be.
As a guy who's taking some of that stuff, now that's a regulated. You are one a day.
Yes.
Yeah, but then that also goes to the fact that is he taking it because his body hurts so much, or has his body now requiring it, and his body doesn't really hurt that much?
I mean, another famous athlete that got was Brett Favre.
Yeah.
You know, with his surgeries and stuff, he got kind of hooked on it and stuff like that. So I'm not knocking him by saying a pill addiction, but I mean that's what he has, or it does stuff to him and he can't think properly in terms of now get behind the wheel because he doesn't know how he's affected by it and stuff like that. It's something like that, and he's at least now, like you said, somebody's gotten to him to say now. Skeptical Steve said, well, he's facing, jail time and stuff. So now he's like, well, I'm going to go
Maybe
to
that
treatment.
was what happened, but he
But
faced
that
it
can affect
before.
you. Exactly. That can push you towards it. Whereas if he didn't get in that accident, he wouldn't be seeking it. So, but he is stepping away from golf, which also I'll say this because he didn't come out and say it. Folks, he's not playing in the Masters. I know a lot of people were looking forward to him playing in the Masters and stuff like that. He ain't making it.
Yeah.
He's got other demons he has to slay besides the golf course out there. So your update on Tiger
it's interesting when I think about that because I've never really given it a question. I used pills to alleviate pain, never felt an addiction, never felt like I needed another one or whatever. But it was so bad in the 80s, you could walk in the training room of an NFL football team.
Yeah.
And there were Tupperware tubs, Vicodin.
Were they labeled?
Yeah, Vicodin, Darvocet, Extra Strength, Advil or whatever that, Tylenol, whatever,
Tylenol probably,
8 or whatever that was. You could just literally walk in, take a handful, put them in your pocket, go on your merry way.
It's like stealing staplers from the office. You're just putting them in your pockets.
Well, you weren't even stealing. It was like that was what it was there for. Like
exactly,
like candy.
I know a couple other people that are in media that were in football that openly talk about before a game. They down a couple of Vicodins and stuff before a game. Like you said, just dulled the in-game pain that you would go through. And then they talk. It's funny. One of them. It's not funny, but one of them was talking about it. Like he knew the exact moment after a game when like everything went out of his system because all of a sudden it was like elbow hurt, his shoulder hurt, knees were hurting, and he's like 2 minutes before that didn't feel a thing. Felt like everything was normal, and he would go, you could tell when it went out of your system because all of a sudden everything hurt, and I was just like, wow. I don't know if they've openly talked about that, so I'm not going to name him. But I have seen him talk about it.
The other thing they started giving you like mid-'90s, this thing called Toradol came out.
Is that the shot, though?
That's the shot. Yeah. And there'd be 20 dudes lined up in the hotel hallway and dink, just go down the line, dink, 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 dink. And what that did was made you feel really good game day.
Yeah.
And whatever soreness you usually got the day after, the lactic acid and things like that, would be postponed for another day or so. So you'd feel pretty good till Tuesday.
It'll catch you later.
And then it catch you later in the week, and then you do it again. And So
See,
on.
see,
So
that's where you get addicted to that stuff is.
But it didn't make me feel a certain way.
Well, that you know of, it affected you. You just that's the thing. Tiger, if you talk to Tiger on that stuff, he's like, I'm normal.
Yeah, but he's not. He's definitely not.
No. I mean, well, the police in there.
Yeah.
I read their affidavit, and they were like,
No.
this dude was slurring words.
Yeah.
His eyes were all, whatever. Like he was affected by something, and then they had to find out what it was. But that's the thing. You felt normal. Like that's like one of my favorite jokes. Is I once had surgery, and I walked out of the surgery, and it was like, hey, I feel good. I feel fine. Whatever. And then I saw a video of myself like 2 days later. Yeah, I was not fine. Like face was drool dripping, and eyes were all like glossy red, and but I remember it distinctly where I felt like everything was normal.
Right.
Very much was not normal. So but good. He's getting his exact quote was, "I know and understand the seriousness of the situation I find myself in today." He did plead not guilty, by the way, to that DUI case there, but stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment was his wording there as well. And so hopefully this isn't one of those check into a glam place in Florida for a couple weeks, give the impression you're
Right.
getting fixed and you move on with. Now,
Like his trip to the sex clinic.
yeah,
Sebastian
Exactly.
Maniscalco, the comedian, said, sex clinic?
that's right. you're a
Sex
comedian.
clinic? When has anybody ever said, hey, dude, you're single, you're having way too much sex?
When
It's for married guys who get caught.
yes, when you need to get out of some trouble is when you use that.
Yeah.
You're like my skepticism on that stuff.
Yes.
So that's an update on Tiger there. Amari Stoudemire is definitely in. We don't know the exact full class. We know Doc Rivers, Amari Stoudemire, Candace Parker as well are definitely into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame 2026 this summer. So look at that. Amari Stoudemire. I call him local kid, even though he's not from here, but obviously Phoenix Suns, drafted
Grew
by
up
them
here.
when he was
Yeah.
18. For all intents and purposes, made his bones here in the NBA and stuff to that effect. Class of 26, officially. Now, basketball doesn't have an NBA one. It's a basketball,
Right.
which for him, it's got to be pros because he didn't play college.
He did not.
But he had to be really good in high school, right? From that side as well. Other basketball news. The interesting fact here, I'm trying to find it real quick. Luka Doncic. Doncic is one heck of a basketball player. He's
Yeah.
in shape and wants to play. Like, I make fun of him a lot, but I've always said, like in Dallas, the reason why I did not like him was because I hate players with all the talent in the world and they just abuse it and they don't play hard. They come in out of shape. That drives me nuts. He's not doing that in LA. He scored 600 points in the month of March.
Yeah.
He had
Pretty
100
special.
points between 2 games.
Pretty special.
Yeah, but he's now the third youngest player ever to reach 15,000 career points. Who are the 2 guys ahead of him?
LeBron.
LeBron's one of them. I'll tell you this. The other one also did not go to college.
Wow. Well, that has to be fairly recently. Because
No,
you had to
he's-
go to college up to a certain
He's
point.
been retired for a while now, but he was a superstar. I'll tell you that he was on 2 teams. Two made his name on 2 teams. Played for a 3rd team, but he was on 2 teams. One of them was Minnesota.
Kevin Garnett?
You know what? I'm sorry. That's who I was thinking of. That's not him. Folks, I might be on something right now. Okay, scratch everything I just said. He played for the Suns last year. Now he's a Houston Rocket. Kevin Durant. Folks.
Hey, for the Timberwolves. I thought I pulled one out of my rear
No,
end.
you nailed the guy I was thinking. I saw that stat and I wrote it down. Everything says Kevin Durant on my computer, on my paper here. Everything says Durant. And in that conversation, I'm thinking Kevin Garnett the whole freaking time. What?
What's wrong with Steve?
I need to go to treatment, apparently. Whatever's going on with me this week with these allergies and stuff, man, it's getting to me.
Yeah?
It's getting to me out
Gotta
there.
fight through it, Steve.
I am making myself look like an idiot to everybody watching right now as well. But it's Kevin Durant. LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And now Luka. It's unbelievable numbers for him. Before we get into more basketball talk, interesting note here. Hard Knocks. The summer Hard Knocks. It's been bad for a bunch of years now, from teams not allowing the behind-the-scenes stuff to be shown, people being cut, discussions about players not being allowed to be shown. And they've gotten bad like that. It's become a glorified, window into nothing, basically, right? That's what it's become. And a lot of teams just don't want to be a part of it.
No.
They don't. They had to make rules. If you lose this much, you're eligible for it. If you do this, well, the Seattle Seahawks are going to be this year's Hard Knocks. Last I checked, Seattle just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah?
First time the show is going to have the defending Super Bowl champion since its debut back in 2001.
Okay.
Gives me hope, because if you go back and watch the early Hard Knocks, the Ravens with Todd Heap was a rookie on that team. They showed the behind the scenes. They showed the injuries. They showed guys, getting injured to where they're out for the season and breaking down. You saw guys that would show up to camp knowing they're not going to make it, but they thought they could be there and getting cut. You see the last guys get cut because of roster decisions or pay decisions, not that they played better than everybody else. And over the years, they've gone away from that because, like Detroit, we don't want the bad side of the sport to be shown out there. And I argue that's the side you should show people on how cutthroat this business is and what these teams do to try to win. To me, that's the story. But they don't want that to happen. Maybe there's hope again now with the Seahawks, defending champs, stepping up and taking this. By the way, now they're not going to be defending, the losers in the Super Bowl next year probably. But the Patriots are already signed up for next season's Hard Knocks in the summer.
Really?
Yeah. So I find it interesting that teams are now stepping up to do it. Whereas for
probably
years,
with some parameters in line, and
I guarantee it.
I mean, I know you and a bunch of public people are they love the gore and the curmudgeonly part of the NFL and seeing guys get cut and dreams get crushed. And
I don't love
people
it.
Their lives can't go on, and and you sit there and cheer that, and you clap, and
I don't
cheers. There's another guy cut, another dream slashed.
I take shots, but I don't celebrate it. I pour one out for him. No, I think because part of the problem that sports have is, especially football, because we don't see people's faces, right? They have helmets on. Part of the problem is you lose contact that they're human beings.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it as human as possible to people when you see their dreams get slashed, or you see the guy that makes it that's not supposed to. And then you see the guy working his butt off and then pulls his Achilles in the last preseason game, and he was going to make the team, and is all celebrating, and then he tears his Achilles and he's out for the season. All that hard work. You've literally watched all that hard work go into it, and it's just gone in a blink of an eye. It humanizes the sport is what I'm getting at, in a sport that isn't humanized very often. That's why I enjoy it. It's terrible. That's why I'm not an NFL coach and stuff like that, a GM, because I'm too nice. I'd be like,
that's the only reason.
We don't have room for you, but you know what? I got a job for you over here. I'll keep you employed, even though you couldn't make the football team. I'd feel terrible.
Steve kind of said that like, oh yeah, he's been offered a couple jobs. The reason he's not doing it's too cutthroat.
Turn him down. I'm just not my personality. Couldn't do it. Actually, I'm the opposite. I would have a very short leash. That field goal kicker just missed that kick. Give me 3 more in here. Let's go. You missed that wide open receiver on that pass and cost us the game. I don't care that you're a Hall of Famer, Dan Marino. Give me somebody else in here.
That's why you last about 3 months on the job.
Well, that's good though. That's what I'd want because I'd have a 5-year contract. And fire me after 3 months, please.
No, it's whenever that stuff comes up, there's so many things that flash through my mind, and cut down day was traumatic for everybody, for people who knew they had the team made, because invariably you lost a few guys that you liked.
That's the thing, guys that you probably thought should be on the team, right?
Or had been on the team for 2 or 3 years and whatever. But there's also guys that you were like, good riddance, and that was probably 50% of
It's
them.
like that. I've been through massive layoffs at companies before, and I imagine it's not as cutthroat as that is. But it's the same thing where some of the people you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God Cindy's out of here.
Wow.
I don't know. Cindy.
Wow.
I don't know. Cindy. And then you're like, what? Jerry?
Yeah.
My lunch buddy.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing. And it's just, that's the thing, man. As a player, I would have to be away from the facilities when that stuff. Like you tell that story of that guy that got cut on the plane on the way to Europe.
In the boarding area.
Okay. As a player, that would upset me.
It was my first year with the Raiders, so I didn't have any clout or anything. But there were some of the older guys, Howie Longs and Marcus Allens, who were like just openly dog cussing Al.
Really?
And the
that I literally that whole plane flight would be the most miserable because I would be fuming that they treated somebody like that. I really would.
Yes.
And the whole flight, I would just be like, why am I on this team if they're going to treat people this crappy?
Well, how about that fourth game?
Same
Buffalo,
thing.
they pull them off the buses. We're getting ready to go to Riverfront Stadium.
Yeah. See, my opinion on that is, I'd keep him on the team, knowing he were going to come. I'd keep him on the team so we could get that. That's how I think. You got to treat people right, and they don't. But that's why I think you need it out there, and that's why they don't want it out there. By the way. Yeah. But that's why you need it out there. You see that side of it.
Now, I will say this. There are a lot of coaches who cut down days the worst day of the year for them, too.
Yeah, they don't like it either.
Again.
Nobody celebrates.
If you're going from 95 to 55, there's 40 guys you're cut, just for average numbers. 30 of them are very easy. You're not good enough to play in the NFL. You never were. Hey, thanks for trying.
Yeah.
You
Appreciate you coming to camp.
You can always tell people you're the last cut. And if I had $1 for every person who was the last cut, I'd be a millionaire. But it's always those 10 that, boy, if something would have happened different this way, and they're good kids and they're hard workers, and
you probably know their families, right?
And it's like those are the ones that are tough.
Yeah. No, it always gets the tough. But you're right. Most of the cuts are easy.
Yes.
But at the same time, though, it was impressed on me at an early age. Going into business and managing people and stuff. Well, I was always told, you make the decisions, or they'll find somebody that will make the decisions. And you have to know your role and stuff. But it's the inhumane side of it that I understand. People are going to get cut, obviously, but it's the inhumane side of it. Like that guy packed for this trip, man, for this Europe trip.
That whole
probably
thing to
looking
this day.
forward to it. Probably his family. Like a family might be traveling there to see the sights.
Well, wife was with with him.
And even if you cut him, hey man, we got to let you go on this trip because of some other factors. But come along the trip with us.
Or cut him before you load his luggage.
That's the other thing. Do it earlier in the week.
Come on, man. You knew.
Oh, no, they knew all along. They probably knew for weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that stuff would bother the
And now
crap out of
thing that's
and they got what, a 12-hour flight, 8-hour flight, so you're just stewing about it?
It's probably a good thing because in this day and age, an owner / general manager couldn't do that. Because that would be all over everywhere.
Yeah. Well, the media would pick up on it instantly.
Yes.
Especially if Howie Long is F-bombing Al Davis.
Yes. Back then, there was none of that.
Could you imagine Howie Long's F-bombing and nobody reports on it? Yeah. Oh, my God. Okay, well, good. Because I just assume like every player's like, oh, that sucks. Oh, well, let's get this plane going.
No. And
all right.
Again, because people
There's
ask
still good
me that.
humanity there.
I think about it. And I was just such a naive knucklehead.
This was your first year with the Raiders, so you were in the league for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but people have asked, so what? How many years did you worry about cut down day?
Yeah.
I said, probably about 3 times. And one of them was my rookie year.
I can understand that, yeah.
But I had no worries. It's like I find out later the offensive line coach is telling everybody he's going to be in the league for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but in your mind, your first year is got to be the hardest.
I didn't know that. But God, I wish I knew that. Hey, you're fine.
Yeah, I've heard stories of high first round draft picks that when cut day comes, like in their mind, they're going, "Oh man, I messed up during this training camp. I'm not sure I'm going to make this."
Yeah,
and it's like, dude, you were drafted 4th. Settle down.
They're going to let you make a few mistakes.
I've read stories like that where guys have that doubt going into it, and stuff like that. That's the stress that puts on everybody.
And then maybe my second year, third year in Dallas, a little iffy. Then I think back, they didn't have another long snapper.
Exactly.
How stupid am I?
Was it Barry Switzer that was
Yeah, but Barry Switzer came along a few years after that and said, Dale, if I'm you, I hold out. The whole organization
Dale's
be
like,
panicked.
hold out, I'm getting cut. What are you talking about?
Crazy.
No, because that's just a natural thing to do. Like I said, I've been through some layoffs in the corporate world before. And even going to that, I'm going, I might be on this list. I can see the list in front of me. And I'm like, I'm on this list somewhere, right? Like looking at it. It's just natural. And I knew I was safe, but just naturally, I think you kind of react that way. NFL rule changes really quick here, because I got to get to this Lloyd thing with you. They're going to now permit the kicking team to declare an onside kick at any time during the game, which I think declaring an onside kick is the stupidest thing on the planet. But at least now there's the threat of declaring it any time instead of just in the fourth quarter. Nobody cares, right? Number 2, eliminate the kicking team's incentive to intentionally kick the ball out of bounds when kicking off from the 50-yard line.
Which happens twice a year.
Yeah, not very often, right? Because there's a penalty.
Yeah.
You get moved up, and then you just boot it out the back of the end zone instead of kicking it in the landing zone. Then they also modify the kickoff alignment requirements for receiving team players in the setup zone. Because the reason why? Teams were kind of skirting the landing zone rules a little bit and where guys were lined up, so they're cleaning that up. To allow league personnel to consult with on-field officials when considering disqualifications for flagrant football acts and non-football acts without being called on the field, Dale. You can have a play happen, no flag on the field, and they can disqualify somebody from a game because they deem their act flagrant. Meaning hitting a receiver who's defenseless. No flags thrown. They can now.
You better use that very, very, very little.
I talk about this with the NBA.
It better be egregious.
I hate the hostile act investigation without a foul on the court. No, there has to be a foul. There has to be a flag thrown before you do that. But they're allowing it to happen without a flag now. This is dangerous territory if they implement this. Can you imagine a playoff game? No flag on the field.
Yeah.
That's questionable. But no flag on the field, and then they go, the star safety for this team out of this game now with no flag thrown. You're going to see it.
There's got to be a strict. You put a little note on your computer. Egregious.
The bigger one than that one is they say it's for 1 year only, folks. I'm telling you, this is the way it's going to go for officiating. NFL officials are making a grievous mistake if they are not there in week 1 of the NFL season, because this is going to open this up to always being there. So for 1 year only, they passed this rule that's allowing the NFL officiating department to correct clear and obvious mistakes made by on-field officials that impact the game. They're doing this because of the work stoppage possibility with the real refs.
That's what they're saying.
No, I'm telling you, Dale, they are doing it because the NFL referees are giving them the ability to do this for 1 year. If the NFL officials come back on week 1, This rule is in for a year.
Right.
They have allowed them to be double checked. We're not talking holding penalties. We're talking
Game
made,
altering,
missed or made pass interference penalties.
Yes.
Face mask penalties that aren't called, they can now go back and do it. Ones that affect the way. So not holding, not none of that.
Just
nonsense
hopefully
of stuff.
hopefully it's quick. Hopefully it's a button. Boom.
I've told you
Good.
all along.
Yeah.
They all have microphones.
Yeah.
It's just one guy up in the booth that goes, hey, throw your flag. That was pass interference. Throw your flag. Or, dude didn't touch him. Pick up your flag. No penalty on that play. They're letting that in. It's officially in for 1 year, regardless if the strike ends or not. The NFL referees are messing up horribly in this.
When you negotiate with the NFL, hey, God bless them if you're part of them, because
You want to be on their side.
you do. You do. But it sucks when you're on the other side.
Yeah, you get squashed like a little bug. So pay attention to this. This is a big. This strike can end with NFL referees. Now, the NFL referees, if they're smart in the CBA, they're going to have you can't do this. But the rule is in there unless they do that.
Right.
And we're headed down to that path, which I think, to be honest with you, Dale, I think the NFL needs that. For those grossly bad, the Saints playoff game where dude was robbed, pass interference. It would have taken half a second.
You could probably pick a handful of plays over the last couple years that you would use that kind of an eject button.
End of the game pass interference call that is obviously not, and it changes the end of the game.
If it's the first quarter, you're the right tackle, it's a sweep left, and it's a 7-yard gain, you're not buzzing down.
Don't be using it on ineligible man downfield.
Right.
Don't be doing it on
the right tackle, he did whatever.
Don't do it on false starts. That's where I'd get annoyed with it and stuff like that.
Okay, so before I leave.
Well, I got this Lloyd thing I got to play for you, so hurry up.
Who?
Tommy Lloyd.
Oh, okay. I just want you to know, Steve, that head coach Kevin O'Connell of your beloved Minnesota Vikings, he's named your beloved Kyler Murray as a head coach.
As a head coach?
As a starting quarterback.
I'm like, dang.
As a starting quarterback.
Isn't this an amazing thing to happen? Oh, there's going to be competition between him and JJ.
Without really saying he's a starting quarterback, here, listen to this quote real quick, and so everybody's blowing it up.
Well, because
I call it the Justin Jefferson program.
Yeah.
If they're playing man coverage, they're absolutely not playing Justin one-on-one. What that means, you're going to try and play those coverages and have a spy for Kyler Murray.
There's a reason you highlight that.
Or, for that matter, and then he tried to catch some, or for that matter, any of our other quarterbacks.
The more surprising thing to me than, one, a quarterback should be more polished than that.
I mean, a head coach.
So, first of all,
we both
whoops.
suck.
Don't be like the guy in Cleveland that missed the coach's picture because he was getting a haircut for the coach's picture.
Yeah. Todd Mongen.
Don't know that.
Great start.
That guy's going to be fired by week 7.
Great start.
Imagine Myles Garrett being late for a meeting. He goes, you're going to be fine. And he goes, excuse me? How's that haircut looking, Tiger?
Yeah. Hey, I got a haircut.
But you got to be smarter than that as a head coach.
Yeah.
But it's not a shock. Kyler Murray's the starting head coach, folks, or head quarterback coming up.
All right, show me Tommy Lloyd.
Tommy Lloyd. Here we go. Tommy Lloyd yesterday talking about the UNC job.
I'm sure when you made that comment in San Jose about there's going to be a great coach after me, I know you've made similar comments like that before about the program history, but some people were taking that to think, well, maybe he's going to go. So what do you make of that, and has anything changed, being as there still is talk out there?
It's absolutely true. There's going to be another coach. This is a great program. I didn't say when. You know, I mean, and people are going to speculate all they want. Guys, this team has my full focus. Nothing, I promise you nothing is knocking me off that path. And you guys might call them distractions because you're distracted. That doesn't mean I'm distracted or we're distracted. You know what's pretty cool? Once you get some experience in this deal and you're a player or you're a coach who's been at it a while, you get pretty good at, eliminating the distractions. So I think I'm pretty good at that. And I just can't wait to get to practice today. I'm going to go meet with the staff right now. We're probably a little bit late. That's why Nate's pushing me to get up there. And I'm going to go try to have a good practice.
Yeah, he said he's not distracted. He named 3 distractions in the process. We're late for practice. I got to get out there. Did he say no? Did he say no?
Steve, don't buy into
Did he
this.
say no?
Steve,
He's
don't-
keeping it alive?
Steve, don't be one of them.
He's distracting it?
Steve, you're not. I'm not. Blah blah's not. Blue's not saying I'm not taking the North Carolina job.
Dale, the only reason he's not leaving Arizona, folks, he's going to get his pay raise.
Right.
If he doesn't like the AD will be gone. All of that's going to come through. He's not leaving Arizona to go to the East Coast. I don't believe he's going to do that.
And all you knuckleheads
But you-
want him to proclaim and
No.
I'm signed with Arizona in perpetuity.
But the reason why I'm enjoying this so much is these a-holes from Arizona were doing this to us with Kenny Dillingham this year in Michigan. So karma's a B. Enjoy Tommy Lloyd coaching UNC next year, folks. He didn't say no, Dale.
Except for the one difference, kind of a main difference, is they were doing that with Dillingham getting ready for the Sun Bowl, and
Wow.
and they're doing Tommy Lloyd getting ready for the Final Four.
The other difference is Kenny Dillingham had an offer from Michigan. I don't think Tommy Lloyd does.
I think Tommy Lloyd says, check it out.
Oh, no, he's negotiating with Arizona,
Yeah.
folks. Everything he is saying is just like Dillingham didn't say no. You can't say no because the second you say no, you lose your leverage with your current.
And he's masterful in saying, "Hey, I've been through all this. I'm an older guy, and you kind of hope for this. You want distractions, and you get good at."
But I don't like how he was like, "We're late for practice."
Oh
For
God!
the distraction.
All right, shush.
Dale's gonna go play golf. I'll get you through the rest of the show, folks. We'll
Really?
talk some NBA stuff here. Maybe I'll have some more fun with Lloyd. Arizona fans, stick
Go U of
around.
A.
Stick around, Arizona fans. I'll go until my voice ends, folks. Come on back. Main event. And we're back here, main event. Dale takes off. He's going to go play some golf in the, I don't know if it's still raining out there. It was raining earlier. Not too bad up here. Of course, Moon Valley. I don't know how much rain they got up there, but it was raining hard out of my house in the East Valley this weekend as I was leaving early this morning. But I don't know what's happening now, but they say it's going to clear out by noon. It'll probably be okay, right? Maybe, possibly. Out there. Look, we're having some fun with Tommy Lloyd. I agree. I want to be clear on this because I have gotten some DMs and some people hitting me up on some of the socials, with their opinions on it. I don't think Tommy Lloyd's leaving Arizona. I think a deal will be worked out with Arizona. So earlier I saw that the athletic director said they've been negotiating with him since September. And then I saw during the tournament, they said they've been talking to him since the beginning of the tournament. So both sources I would trust from the reporting I saw out there. So I don't know. Maybe they've only been talking to him since the tournament started. But I'm having fun with it because, we went through this with Kenny Dillingham. You want your coach in those conversations and things. And I'll tell you this, if he stays with Arizona, he's doing a great job negotiating with Arizona by pulling this stuff out there and everything. Period. End of story. This is a big ball game they have coming up this weekend, right? Good Friday on Easter on Sunday, Good Friday on Friday, big game on Saturday for them. This is going to be their hardest game they've probably played all year, if I had to guess, in terms of the matchup that they're facing. Equal teams battling it out. Got to be ready. I will say this, Kobe, if you still have him available, I'm going to play it again only because now you know what he says in this. You know, we had some fun with it. Folks, again, he's negotiating with Arizona, I believe, is what he is doing in these comments. Not with UNC. Although if you look at I went through several different social media posts of the presser. Not everybody had that long of a clip. You got to watch the people that just clip the ending of that stuff. Like, Arizona's going to have another coach. And they just clipped that part. I played the whole clip for you there and the whole answer. Obviously, the question was involved in there. It's not as dastardly as you can make that look, right? But now that you know what he says, you'll hear it again. Look at his body language going into this huge game on Saturday. Here we go.
I'm sure when you made that comment in San Jose about there's going to be a great coach after me, I know you've made similar comments like that before about the program history, but some people were taking that to think, well, maybe he's going to go. So what do you make of that, and has anything changed, being as there still is talk out there?
It's absolutely true. There's going to be another coach. This is a great program. I didn't say when. You know, I mean, and people are going to speculate all they want. Guys, this team has my full focus. Nothing, I promise you nothing is knocking me off that path. And you guys might call them distractions because you're distracted. That doesn't mean I'm distracted or we're distracted. You know what's pretty cool? Once you get some experience in this deal and you're a player or you're a coach who's been at it a while, you get pretty good at, eliminating the distractions. So I think I'm pretty good at that. And I just can't wait to get to practice today. I'm going to go meet with the staff right now. We're probably a little bit late. That's why Nate's pushing me to get up there. And I'm going to go try to have a good practice.
That looks like a man that's relaxed. That looks like a man that's excited for what's coming up here. He's not pressing at all. He's not, oh, my God, it's Michigan. Oh, my God, are we going to beat them? Oh, man, we're up late night studying film, trying to figure out how to beat this Michigan team. That looks like a relaxed man, folks. Even at the beginning of that question, right, he leans back, puts his hand on the chairs next to him. That's a relaxed dude out there. I like to see that going into this game on Saturday. He's not uptight, right? He doesn't lash out at all. Even had that little smile on his face as he was talking at the beginning and at the end. Got a little serious in the middle. But that is a relaxed man. I like that look there of Tommy Lloyd going into this game on Saturday night. His pressure's not getting to him, at least in the lead up to the game. And I like that. I like that a lot from that side. So you guys know I like the body language game, and I pay attention to the body language. I like that look a lot better than the coach that's just stoic. Looks like he's not sure and stuff like that. Even talking about, hey, I'm about to go meet with the staff. I'm late. Oh, man, they're waiting for me right now. Kind of joking around. Smile on his face. That's why they're pushing me to get out of here, guys, because I got to get to this, and stuff. Big smile on his face as he's saying it. If he was uptight, he'd be like, I got to go, guys. I got to go get ready for this practice. We got some things we got to implement today. We got to get it done. Relaxed. Love it. Love this for Arizona going into the game this weekend. We talked early in the show. Look, Fernandez's debut yesterday for the Diamondbacks. All-time great debut for him with those 2 home runs. Gave him the lead as well from that side. Look, folks, if you missed it at the beginning of the show, I gave a ton of props to Paul Sewald and his performance specifically last night, but his 2 outings that he's had this year as well, or 3 outings now, I guess it is, that he had this year. A lot of props to him because I was really impressed with him yesterday from that perspective. And like I said, I don't know. I've never been a closer. I'm just going off of human minds and what it's like in bullpens when I've talked to other guys to come in that game and get that league out there and stuff like that. But we talked earlier, of course, Suns lost last night, 115-111 in that game. Second night, back-to-back, Shocker. Team loses. The road team loses. The team on the back-to-back loses in this situation. Welcome to the NBA. If you've never been to an NBA game before, they scored 17 points in the fourth quarter yesterday, folks. Yeah. Scored 21 in the first, 36 in the second, 38, I think, in the third, 17 in the fourth. Second night back-to-back. NBA teams lose those a lot. Not a shocker. I also don't care about the losses now. I just want to get to the playoffs with a handful of games left. I get it. But obviously the big news is Dillon Brooks came back last night as well. 22 minutes for him, 9 points, 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 3 from the three-point line. 5 rebounds for him as well for him going into this. Going to take him some time to ramp up the minutes and things, right, to get his feet underneath him and whatnot. No doubt about that. How did you guys feel about him being back in there? Was the mentality different? I am going to watch this game from last night. I have not seen it yet, though. I'm going to watch it today when we get done here. I was not able to watch it last night. I want to go back and spend the time because I want to see the body language on the team. I want to see that toughness back in there that we expect from Dillon Brooks. So I will go and watch it and get that opinion. I just don't have it right now. But that is my question mark from that game last night as well. Jalen Green and his 30 minutes, 6 points for him. He's got to step up his scoring, man. Period. End of story. 3 for 10 from the field. 0 for 5 from 3. He also needs to stop shooting threes. But he needs to step up his scoring here coming up for him as well. Booker, 36 minutes, 34 points. Typical Booker outing out there as well. So now you got to incorporate Dillon Brooks. They're off today, play again tomorrow. But you've got to incorporate Dillon Brooks. Get Williams back next week and incorporate him into this as well. And get ready, get healthy, get into this playoff push here in this playoff mode. Coming up as well. Throw up the West standings, if you will, Kobe, as well. Let's just get you updated on that because, of course, we're just eyeing the Clippers behind the Suns. Suns are the 7th seed. Unless something disastrous happens and the Clippers come back and pass them into the 7th seed. But they're not falling farther than the 8th seed, folks, right? Now, the Portland and the Clippers are battling it out for that 8th seed right now. That could come down to the Suns might have to play the Trailblazers. I do like the Suns playing the Trailblazers in that 7-8 game better than I like them playing the Clippers. I think they win either way in that 7-8 game, but I have less of a threat of the Trailblazers going on a big run to beat them in that one game than I do the Clippers, to be honest with you. Kawhi Leonard, I don't care what you say, still scares you as a scorer, and the Suns have nobody that can defend him. So 3 things we're watching. I don't think anybody's going to catch the Suns for that 7th spot. 3-game difference right now between the Clippers and the Suns. But here's the thing. Clippers have to keep winning to stay ahead of the Trailblazers. They're battling it out, which is going to put the pressure on the Suns to get wins when you need wins as well moving forward at that point. But as you look at this, I'm only showing you the West standings right now is what I'm showing you. I've thought for a while that the NBA is basically a 2-tier league. And what I mean by that is, that as you look at these standings right now, you've got the teams that want to win. And I'm putting the Phoenix Suns in that list. I'm not going to put the Clippers on this list. Clippers, to me, just spend a lot of money, let guys sit out, etc. So Suns in that 7th seed up, they're teams that want to win in this league. We've seen that from the ownership of the Suns. It didn't work out with Kevin Durant, but they were trying to win. It just didn't work out for 1,000 reasons. We know the reasons. But then you saw there on the bottom half as well, and Kobe will throw it up. Just a minute, Kobe. I'll ask you to throw it up again here. This is just the West standings. But then there's a whole slew of teams. I'm going to put the Clippers, the Trailblazers. I'll probably put the Warriors, maybe, as teams that want to win. They just can't win. They can't win better than they are. How about that? So they haven't exactly thrown in the towel. Throw up the West standings again here. Like I said, this is just the way. It's worse in the East, folks. Look at the teams after 11, 12, 13, 14th, and 15th spots. These teams don't want to compete. These teams don't want to win. They want to lose and get down as feebly as possible. So Yahoo put together head-to-head. So, like I said, if you want to be favorable, I don't think the Golden State Warriors want to win right now. They're just there with Steph Curry. They're just buying their time with him and Draymond. You know, they're going to do what they're going to do, make the play-in game, move on with their lives. They don't care about being a top 8 team and making a playoff run. Trailblazers are an up-and-coming team. Maybe they are moving to that direction. Clippers, like I said, they'll sign big-name guys, put the face on that they want to win, and then just disappoint you every year. But if we want to be generous, let's take 8, 9, and 10 on the West here and put them into the, might want to win, but not going to put a lot of pressure into it. But they don't want to lose either. The Grizzlies, Pelicans, Mavericks, Jazz, and Kings, they just want to lose. They've wanted to lose for a long time now. They don't give an ounce about winning. So Yahoo put together a summary of, they call those the B-League teams. So we're going to talk just about the West because that's all that's up here. It's worse than the East, by the way, folks. All right, Memphis, playing the A teams, meaning the teams that want to win on the top here. The Memphis is 1-17 in its last 18. Not even competitive. They don't even care to win. Sacramento, 1-23 in its last 24 games. They're 41 games out of first place. 19 wins on the season for them. They've been trying to lose for a long time. Memphis, 1-17 in their last 18. Dallas, 2-23 in their last 25. Cooper Flag. And they don't want to win, folks. You can go to the east side of things, which I don't have this graph for you, but it's worse over there. Washington, 0-20 in their last 20 games against the A teams, meaning the teams that want to win on the east side. Brooklyn, 1-29 in their last 30. Indiana, 2-12 in their last 14. Oh, I forgot about Utah in the West, 1-14 for them as well. Milwaukee, 1-12 in their last 13. They're sitting down a player that says he's healthy in Giannis to not play him. Why, folks? So they can lose. They want to lose. Chicago traded half their team at the trade deadline. 3-17 in the last 20. Traded their good players in that time frame. The NBA is a 2-tier league system. The teams that want to win and the teams that don't care and they just want to tank. There's always been that element in the NBA over the years. But it has gotten, over the last couple of years, it's gotten more and more prevalent, this fraction between the winning team and the losing teams. And it's disgusting. A league is unwatchable. I gave you that stat the other day. Last year, they set the record of the most 30-point victories. 80 total games last year finished 30 points more or higher for winning totals. Last year. This year, they beat that record. As of 3 nights ago, it was 85, which means it's gotten worse because some of these teams are playing worse now. Who's tuning into your league and watching your league unless it is 2 good teams? There's no reason to watch Phoenix Suns versus who they play 2 nights ago. I'm just on a blank right now. Phoenix Suns versus a bad team. There's no reason to watch the Thunder play the Chicago Bulls. There's no reason to watch the Thunder play the Kings. There's no reason to watch the Spurs play Utah because it's going to be blowout city. You're decimating your league. You're turning fans away. People aren't watching your games, and folks, you need the TV revenue. The salary cap's already going down in the NBA. And you literally have half the league, if you count 10 through 15 in the West, 10 through 15 in the East. That's 10 teams. A third of your league unwilling to win games. People aren't going to watch. Your ratings are going to be down. Well, we just won't put them on TV, on national television. We still have regional money. That's why the league's down and the salary cap is the regional money. The B League teams are 12 and 167 record. That's their record against A League teams across these chunks of games. The teams that want to tank against the teams that want to win, and they're blowouts too, folks. 12 wins by teams that don't want to win. The bad teams in your league. Only 12 wins out of 167. That's unsustainable as a league. Terrible. I saw this, and I've been thinking it for a while. I've been telling you guys, these games are unwatchable. I told you, with 9 games to go, I don't care about the Suns until playoffs start. Part of that reason is their schedule. I don't care about watching the Suns in Memphis. I don't care about watching. Now, Magic's a good team on the East. They're a playoff team. I was interested in that coming up. Who's interested in the Suns schedule coming up here, right? The Hornets tomorrow night. Hornets are trying to lose. Then they got the Bulls. Bulls just beat the Suns. First win in that month. When they play them in March? Maybe it was February. The Bulls had one win in that month. It was February or March. I don't remember. It had to be February. One win in that month, and it was against your Phoenix Suns. Who's tuning in for Suns Bulls? Who's tuning in to Suns Mavericks next week when the Mavericks want to lose? Then you're going to get Lakers and Thunder to finish the season. They do have the Rockets in there before the Mavericks. Rockets are still playing for something. But then you got the Lakers and the Thunder. Thunder might get caught. They might have to play a little bit. We'll see. That's the last game of the season. They'll have it situated or they'll have to play. But you have the potential of them not wanting to win those games or caring if they win or not. The NBA is sabotaging itself. Sure, they're trying to put anti-tanking, which are convoluted anti-tanking rules. Do you guys see what the commissioner put out on anti-tanking rules? Dude, we're going to need a map. We're going to need a mathematician, MIT students to figure this out. What? The NBA is sabotaging itself, folks. They don't care that 10 of their 30 teams are god-awful and have no desire to win. Minimum. By the way, I told you the East was worse than the West. Like I said, I'll give Portland, Clippers, and the Warriors that they want to win. They just can't. We'll give them that. And we'll put them in a separate category. But you have the 11 through 15 seed in the East. The Bucks want to lose. The Bulls want to lose. The Nets want to lose. The Wizards want to lose, and the Pacers want to lose. Period. End of story. That's where you get the 10. Hornets are in that 10 spot right now. But the Hornets are 15 games behind first place. The Bucks eliminated from the playoffs. The Hornets are going to be in the East play-in games. Now the question is, are they the 10 or the 9 or the 8 seed? Because the 76ers are 13 and a half games out. The Magic are a game behind them. Half a game behind them are the Heat and the Hornets. So you're just playing for seeding there. They have 40 wins between them. All of them. 41 for the Sixers, 40, 40, and 40 right now for the Magic, Heat, and Hornets. So it's the same type of situation. We'll say they want to win and push it up there. But these East teams have been taking a lot longer than the Kings and the Jazz has on that side. I'm just end the show here with my nod to the NBA. Just get to the playoffs because nobody cares about the end of this regular season. It's a junk product out there. Numbers prove it. Everything else proves it. Hopefully I proved it to you here as well. 12:40 today. Diamondbacks down there at Chase Field. Skubal, and a Gallon. This is going to should be a good pitching matchup. How does Zach Gallen, does he make it past that faulty inning like he had there at Dodgers? Pitched well up until that point and then had that fall apart inning. Skubals, one heck of a pitcher, folks. So if you're a pitching matchup, at least on the Detroit side, you want to tune in to the game today. They won the series, but you'd like to see Gallen go out there and go toe-to-toe with one of the best pitchers in the game right now, as well at 12:40. Suns off today as well. Get back on the game tomorrow against Houston. All that. And we'll be back tomorrow, of course. McCollum on Business, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Then we're here 8 to 10 a.m., of course, on demand. Follow us, TME Media AZ on YouTube. Of course, the podcast here as well, the main event with Steven and the main event with Dale. It'll pop right up for you on your favorite podcast system. Follow TME Media AZ on X as well. That's our production company. We're going to start putting out posts there. It is up, a couple posts on there. We're no picture on it yet. We're getting our logo all situated. I think we have that done now. We'll make those final decisions later on today. But follow that as well, folks. We'll see you later as well. Pit stop, because of the way I'm feeling in my voice, we're going to do pit stop tomorrow as well. So we'll have that up for you. Gotta get this voice some rest here. But I'll go through tomorrow because Friday is Good Friday and McCollum on Business is off Friday. I'll tow through it tomorrow no matter what my voice is. Tomorrow as well. Be safe out there. Everybody have a great Wednesday here, folks. We'll see you tomorrow with Uncle Lou here on the main event.